Hello, here is the storyline of episode 32. At the beginning of this episode, Eugene meets Haanaa, where Haanaa feels that she cannot possibly be Eugene's biological daughter because she never felt lost on the sea, while Eugene's biological daughter was lost on the sea at the age of 7. Besides that, what Haanaa remembers is that she lost her father in a fire when she was 7 years old. But then Jingu does his turn to make Haanaa believe that the man who died in the fire was probably not Haanaa's biological father. Even though Haanaa feels that she is not Eugene's biological daughter, she is willing to take a DNA test to respect Eugene. Besides that, Eugene shows Haanaa photos of her daughter when she was a baby. Haanaa sees the photo for the first time because she also doesn't have any photos when she was a baby. When she sees the photos, Haanaa doesn't feel anything, which makes her even more convinced that she was not Eugene's biological daughter. Then also in this episode, Eugene praises Haanaa's greatness who intends to adopt Eunchang, even though Haanaa's life is difficult. In the end, Haanaa tells Eugene and Jingu about who did not get permission from the state to adopt Eunchang, and Haanaa also tells about how Eunchang's father died and how Eunchang's biological mother ran away to Korea to give birth to Eunchang. Eugene cries when she hears Haanaa's story because it is actually a story about Eugene, who has her biological daughter. At the same time, Eunchang contacts Haanaa so that Eunchang finally knows that Haanaa is with Eugene, and Eunchang tells Richard Han about it. Richard Han is quite panicked after knowing that Haanaa met Eugene, especially when he hears from Jae-suk that Seong and Myung-ji are secretly following Eugene. So Richard Han orders Jae-suk to make Myung-ji and Seong stop following Eugene. Richard Han asks Jae-suk to order someone to hit Myung-ji's parked car, so that Myung-ji's car alarm would sound, so that Myung-ji is forced to leave the restaurant and stop following Eugene. Richard Han's plans works. Myung-ji's car alarm goes off, and when Myung-ji and Seo are about to leave the restaurant, they bump into Eugene, and of course, Myung-ji makes a reasonable excuse so that Eugene wouldn't think that they are following Eugene secretly. Meanwhile, Haanaa doesn't want to hope that she is Eugene's biological daughter. She's afraid of being disappointed if the DNA test results state that she is not Eugene's biological daughter. But sometimes, she also thinks that if she is Eugene's biological daughter, that it would be good news for her younger siblings and Eunchang because they all wouldn't have financial difficulties. Besides, she would be able to adopt Eunchang. Meanwhile, Jingu already holds the manipulated DNA test results, and here Eugene tells Jingu to immediately give the DNA test result to Haanaa. And Eugene also reminds Jingu that Jingu shouldn't forget to tell Haanaa that all of this is a secret. Eugene doesn't want Haanaa to tell anyone that Haanaa is Eugene's daughter. Haanaa shouldn't tell Jae-suk, Ji-chang, and Ji-eun. At the end of this episode, Haanaa meets Jingu and Haanaa guesses that Jingu is going to say that the DNA test results state that she is not Eugene's biological daughter. But she is quite surprised when Jingu says that Haanaa is Eugene's biological daughter. Okay everyone, that's the storyline this time. Thank you for watching my video.